doing this problem. It's a square root equation. Like I said, we are going to just tackle square root equations. So there are no fractions. So step 2, get the radical alone. So the first thing I want to do is get the square root alone. And that's not too hard. Just move that 6 to the other side. And then I'm going to square both sides. So squaring the square root side and squaring the other side. Square both sides in their entirety. I get to put one square on each side of the equation. I don't get to put a square by each term. I get to put a square on each side. And that's very important because that means that side will have to FOIL. A really common mistake is people square each term. You're not squaring each term, you're squaring each side. You get one square per side. Now over on this side, things are easy. Square roots and squares are opposite operations. They're inverse operations. They, quote-unquote, cancel. Over here, we're going to FOIL. So that's x plus 6, x plus 6. FOILing that guy out. So I get x squared plus 6x plus 6x plus 36. Got some like terms. And so I have 2x plus 15 equals x squared plus 12x plus 36. And now I just step back and I decide what I need to do next. And so as I look at that, right there I see a square as the highest exponent. That makes it a quadratic. So I think about my choice as the quadratic. It's not square root. And so we'll set it equal to 0. Doesn't matter what side my 0 is on. So I'll subtract the 2x from both sides. Subtract the 15 from both sides, and I get 0 equals x squared plus 10x plus 21. Then you look at it for a while. You either factor, I need an x there, either factor or quadratic formula. This one factors pretty nicely, x plus 3, x plus 7 equals 0. It's now factored and equal to 0, so I can split it up. And remember, that's the only time you can split it up, when it's factored and equal to 0. And I get two potential answers of 3 and negative 7. But notice potential. I absolutely must check. And then we got the checking on the next page, and so I'll bring up the next page momentarily here. But you have to check these things. That since I squared both sides, there is a potential for extraneous solutions. So you have to check. So let's check it. So I got answers of negative 3 and negative 7. I just noted I worded this a little bit. Checking it graphically first. So I can check it the exact same way that I've checked all the others, graphically. Move all the terms to one side, press y equals, and type in your expression. Now if you have an older calculator there, you're going to need parentheses around the 2x plus 15. That just kind of depends on the calculator. But I move it all over to one side, type it in there, and then I check it. And notice we get just one x-intercept x equal negative 3. And so the answer, negative 7, does not check. So there's checking it graphically. Now, what if you don't have a calculator or you hate checking things graphically? Let's do it by hand. So let's check the x equals negative 3 by hand first. So I plug in that negative 3. And so I'm going to have 2 times negative 3 plus 15 minus 6. Wondering if that's going to be negative 3. So that's with a little equal sign over the little question mark over the equal sign. Are these things going to be equal to each other? And so what? That's going to be negative 6 plus 15 minus 6. Wondering if that's going to be negative 3. That's going to be the square root. Just lost my train of thought here. Oh, never mind. I don't know what I was thinking. So that's going to be the square root of 9 minus 6, 3 minus 3. That's negative 3. That guy checks. Checking the x equal negative 7. Doing the exact same thing. Plug in the negative 7, see what happens. So 2 times negative 7 plus 15 minus 6. Is that going to be negative 7? So I replace the x's with negative 7, see what happens. So that's going to be negative 14 plus 15, then the square root of that. Wondering if that's going to be negative 7. That's going to be the square root of 1 minus 6. Wondering if that's negative 7. And so that's going to be 1 minus 6. That is not negative 7. And so we then verified by hand that x equal negative 7 doesn't check. But whenever you square both sides, you have to include a plus or a minus. Okay, we're going to end this video here because the next problem is really pretty long, and so I don't think I can get it done in the 8 minutes I have left for this video. So, end of this video.